Season 2 of The Perfect Match on Netflix is about to wrap up with the finale dropping Friday, so I'm here to break down all 20 members into the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you're not familiar with The Perfect Match, it's the Avengers of reality shows where Netflix takes people from every one of their dating shows like Love is Blind and The Circle and Too Hot to Handle, throws them in a house together and makes them compete and bang. And just like the Avengers, there are heroes and villains, so let's get going. Before I get to the main players, though, let's just get rid of the irrelevant characters. Jake, Nigel, Trevor, and Britton, absolute zeros. They gone. Izzy from Love is Blind got shit-faced and drooled all over himself, but that was the only interesting thing he's really done, so he's gone too. First, the good, Tolu. Tolu is simply a good individual. She's a nice person, she's got a functioning brain, and she honestly looks like she should be an African queen. She's too good for reality TV and the rest of these maniacs and should probably go back to real life. Micah originally was one of the true villains on Love is Blind, only to make the best and only true transformation I've ever seen from a reality TV character. She became a nice person, although she sabotaged the fuck out of Elise by inviting Jess to the house, full well knowing that Harry was gonna hook up with her. She found out what goes around comes around though with Kaz, and ultimately I think she's a good person. Alara and Steven, hands down the strongest couple in the house. While everyone else is burning their lives to the ground, these two lovebirds are just enjoying a free honeymoon courtesy of Netflix. Initially, I thought I was absolutely gonna loathe Steven, but he turned out to be a cool dude other than the fact that he pronounces his name like an idiot. Dominique. Dominique is a bisexual chick, and she'll remind you of that every 2 seconds. We were like 15 minutes into episode 1, and she was crying over that trash bag Brighton. She came out before the premiere and said that she actually matched with Britton, another girl in the house, and that Netflix edited it out. Dominique, if I may give you some unsolicited advice, stop going on straight dating shows if you're gay. Now we gotta move on to the bad. But before we do the full-fledged bad, we have one cast member who lives right on the border of good and bad, and that's Jessica. Jess from Love is Blind. She's like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of dating shows. In one breath, she's so well-spoken and emotionally articulate, giving her daughter a good example, standing up for single moms, and the next breath, she's telling Harry Jowsey, the ultimate playboy, that she loves him after like 2 nights on a dating show.
I love you.
It's like falling in love at summer camp, except you're an adult and you're doing it with the #1 fuckboy on the planet Earth. Jessica also sounds exactly like everyone's favorite Munchausen victim, Gypsy Rose.
So how does that make you feel? Like, are you proud?
Can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now.
The bad. Elise. Elise was cool up until Harry dumped her.
Let someone let him go.
And she went on a 2-week revenge tour like she was on fucking Game of Thrones. She survived on oxygen and spite alone, trying to get back at Harry for dumping her and Micah for bringing Jess to the house, and in the process just trounced through nice guys. Chris. Take one look at this guy and you know he's a douchebag. Watch him for a couple episodes and you're like, wow, I shouldn't have judged a book by its cover. Watch him for a few more episodes and you're like, yup, I judged that book correctly the first time. His male stripper alter ego Axel Stone is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. I'm just a And when he told Xanthi if it was real life, he already would have fucked her, tough watch.
I'm in the outside world. I'm not gonna lie, like we probably would have just hooked up.
Which brings me to Xanthi. Fine girl and all, very pretty, even keeled, but every 2 seconds she pretends she's Marissa Tomei from My Cousin Vinny.
That's the answer right there. That's the answer.
And it wasn't offered in the Bel Air with a 4-barrel carb till 64.
What in the world is that about? The girl actually thinks she's Mona Lisa Vito. Dom, the male winner from season 1 of Perfect Match, he's a dollar store Lenny Kravitz. The way he tried to sabotage Harry in front of his girl Jess was fucked. But I guess considering Harry fucked his girlfriend from season 1 of the show, fair play. Which brings us to the ugly. Harry Jowsey. Now I abide by the old saying, don't hate the player, hate the game. But what happens when the player turns into a walking cliche of therapy speak, crying to everyone that he's a changed man? Harry Jowsey has fucked like 5 billion chicks, and he spent this season saying he was a changed man because of Jess, a woman he knew for like 48 hours, and Autumn, her 13-year-old daughter that he's never met. Weird. And the first chance he was around other women, he fucked around and blew it. Felt for the old, don't worry, there's no cameras, nobody's watching, unlike your 10th reality series. And then came home and cried and puked about it because you got played. Spare me the dog and pony show. Melinda and Holly. As much as Harry belongs in the ugly category, he was full-blown sabotaged by these 2 clout chasers. Melinda isolating Harry and begging him for a kiss like some pathetic incel, teaming up with Holly, dirty macking on Harry to put him on blast in front of his girl to get FaceTime.
Just kiss me.
I'm for sure not. Enjoy your 15 seconds of fame, you losers. Who killed Kennedy? Did we land on the moon? And did Harry actually kiss Melinda? The greatest conspiracies of our time. Kaz. Kaz, through 8 episodes, I had him in the good category, and then he sucked face and matched with another girl right in front of Micah's face.
Interesting.
And I was like, oh shit, you are diabolical. I do think Micah and the cast and the producers pushed him to his limit, but goddamn, that was some wildly inconsiderate shit. The only redeeming quality for Kaz is that he left that bitch Christine hanging, which brings us to Christine.
What I want, I like to put everything in my eyes. If I just stare into their soul, I know they'll fold.
Christine is a succubus, a siren, a Jezebel, a temptress, a seductress. She wields the power of the pussy like it's Thor's hammer. She's like the aliens in Independence Day, going from planet to planet, destroying the peace, except she does that with other people's relationships. If you ever see her, run in the other direction, because she will seduce you with her feminine wiles and leave you dead in the gutter. And saving the absolute worst for last, Brighton. Holy moly, does this guy suck. He had Dominique crying night one because he was so lame and annoying. He got the boot. He came back in like a goddamn kamikaze. He just wanted to fuck shit up for the happy people, and then circled around like a goddamn vulture, like a buzzard, just waiting to get some scraps. He is the smarmiest, smuggest prick on the planet Earth. He's the type of guy to lick his lips and wring his hands like this. Except he's being serious. He is an all-time villain, and Netflix should cast him for every season ever from here on out.